Okay, with that, I'm delighted to introduce our speakers today. Jonathan Jank with the Seward County Chamber and Development Partnership, and his cohort there, Gerald Homp with Bottle Rocket Brewing. And they were mentioning to me before the call here that it was about 5 years ago today that they spoke to our coffee in person in Lincoln. And I remember that coffee well, so we're delighted to have them back and have them give us an update on what's happening in Seward County. Gentlemen, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. All right. Well, quick background about myself, and Gerald will have the stage here in just a little bit, but we're so pleased to be with you today, and thanks for the opportunity, Steve, and your team for providing this platform. So I was born and raised in Lincoln, went to Concordia University here in Seward for both undergrad and grad work, and then been in nonprofit management for the last 12 plus years. And also my wife and I co-own a rental management business. And then of course serve as the president and CEO for the Seward County Chamber and Development Partnership. Been doing that for just over 9 years. Our organization was founded in 2016. We actually just celebrated our 5th year. And that process was real brief, the short version of the long story. There were actually 8 different community and economic development groups that came together from across Seward County. In September of 2015, they developed a vision statement for what they wanted Seward County to look like by the year 2035. So a 20-year vision. And they basically asked the question, can anybody help fulfill that vision over the next 20 years? Do you have the capacity to be that steward and caretaker of it? And the answer was no. And so 3 out of those 8 organizations formed into the Seward County Chamber and Development Partnership. And I've been fortunate to be the steward of that organization with an amazing team working with me. And Leanne's one of those awesome teammates working with our marketing and events coordinators. So we are a public-private partnership. We have 200 and almost 50 members on the private sector side, from sole proprietorships, entrepreneurs, to our largest employer that's 700 employees and everything in between. And so we work with businesses on the private sector side, and then we have public sector members like the county commissioners, City of Seward, City of Milford, Village of Utica, that are partners as a part of our organization. So if you're not familiar with Seward County, and to this audience specifically, we really do have an entrepreneurial spirit here in Seward County. And so we're excited to meet all of you, excited for the opportunity to build these relationships. And of course, we'd love to be in person, but hopefully we'll have that opportunity to do that in the future. It was great to do this 5 years ago. And so we'll look forward to continuing to build relationships through this network over time. So Seward County really is open for business. We're just over 17,000 population. We're just west of Lincoln, of course, along I-80 and also US Highway 34. We're actually in the Lincoln MSA, so we have a great symbiotic relationship with the capital city. We're fortunate that we have diverse employers. We have industries, agriculture, manufacturing, education, healthcare, transportation, and others. Of course, we're home to Concordia University, which has about 1,200 undergraduate students on campus living here in Seward. And we're also fortunate to be home to Southeast Community College in Milford, and they have about 850 students on their campus. And they're, of course, technical vocational school here in Milford, and one of the top ranked schools for manufacturing, engineering, technology training programs. Seward, of course, is the courthouse seat, with a home of just over 7,000 people. And during the last census, Seward itself had double-digit growth. We were one of only 24 communities across the entire state that had double-digit growth. We're excited to see where our census numbers end up here very soon for 2020. Downtown Seward is where US Highway 34 meets, along with Nebraska Highway 15 that goes up to David City, Columbus, Norfolk. And then we're about 6 miles, Seward's 6 miles from Interstate 80. So really good transportation access in the community. And downtown Seward is just 25 minutes away from downtown Lincoln. We have a lot of people that commute out of the community for jobs, but we have thousands of people that commute into the community for really great jobs as well. And again, really, I think have an entrepreneurial spirit that welcomes business startups especially. If you're not familiar, our three largest employers, Concordia University, Tenneco, and Hughes Brothers, they pull employees from 20 counties. So we have access to talent from those 20 counties, which represents 1.35 million people, and that's our sales pitch. If you want rural quality of life, but access to the metro, and really to be what I call a big fish in a big fish in a small pond, you have the opportunity to do that here in Seward County. And so we sure can get access to talent even outside of the metro area, and we've proven to do that through our startups as well as our larger businesses as well. One of our recent highlights for our organization was helping develop the community's first industrial park called the Seward Lincoln Regional Rail Campus. We just had our first tenant build there called Pet Source by Schooler. You may be familiar with Schooler Grain out of Omaha, Nebraska. They're one of the largest privately held companies in the country. And they started their first manufacturing facility here in Seward. It's actually their world headquarters. They have plans to grow over time across the world, and is freeze-dried protein product for the premium pet food industry. Really wonderful paying jobs that we're excited to diversify our local economy, but it was over a $51 million investment, and by the end of this year, they will have created over 100 new jobs. And that's kicked off that industrial site, which then has sites that we're starting to fill up with other support businesses and continue to recruit larger industries to fill up that rail campus over time. So again, if you're looking for a rural setting with reasonable lease rates, access to fiber, please reach out to me for more information. Ryan is one of our wonderful fiber providers, by the way, with Unite Private Network. So a lot of wonderful resource providers here. We're gonna talk real briefly about some of our locally operated funding programs, multiple local funding programs to help mitigate the startup or expansion costs for entrepreneurs. Gerald can talk about some of those to help support Bottle Rocket's startup and growth. And if you need access to those funds and you're interested to expand in our county, please let me know. We'd love to tell you more about those programs. I had mentioned that we have fiber optic connectivity in our business districts across Seward County, and we are working on fiber to the home. So even though you're in a rural place, you're gonna be connected to the world. And then of course, we really see ourselves as we have great resource providers with easy access to Lincoln. So through our office, you can connect with local resource providers to knock down your barriers to growth. And we help entrepreneurs succeed and refer a lot to Steve and his teammates at the Entrepreneurship Center. And they've been wonderful to help support a number of our entrepreneurs to get their startups. So we appreciate their partnership over the years. We have a lot of wonderful and talented and diverse entrepreneurs across Seward County, and I'm excited to introduce you to one of them today. And so Bottle Rocket Brewing Company, which I introduced 5 years ago, and they're still here. They've kind of hit that 5-year magic curve when you hear within 5 years, 90% of businesses fail. We both hit past 5 years, by the way. Yes. So we both made it. That's always good. But we're excited to help have Gerald tell his story about Bottle Rocket Brewing Company and their startup and growth here, and hopefully that gives you an understanding of how you could succeed here in Seward County as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Gerald.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate the nice introduction there. Yeah, 5 years ago, I can't believe it's been that long. Thank you, Steve, for having us, and the rest of the group, welcome. This is Bottle Rocket Brewing Company. We've been open 5 years. Matter of fact, we just started, as you can see on the screen, distribution into canning. That's been about a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Steve, for your purchase and drinking that nice, good M80, as you told us earlier. We are very thankful for Jonathan and his team because they've done a great job in initiating help for us to get the PPP funding, the EIDL funding. Zane and the group have helped quite a bit to do that. Initially, we've had gotten a few grants. So we've taken advantage of the CDBG, and so we've done Seward County visitor grants and things like that. So those have helped quite a bit. Talk about visiting. We are on the passport this year for 2021. We did make the list of 70 businesses that are, well, you can come visit. So we'll check you off when you come visit. So come on over and we'll give you a stamp. It's exciting because I looked at the list of 70 and we are the only brewery on there, which is unusual, but maybe that's, I don't know, maybe they forgot to apply. So anyway, come visit us. We've got lots of good things here. And I'll give you a little background of Bottle Rocket here because we are in the building. It's a 1947 grain seed mill. And we opened it 2015. We have lots of historical stuff in here, and we can walk around a little bit and do that. But I want to give kudos to my two partners, Jason Berry and Ryan Cook. Jason is a wonderful creative man who did the drawings on the cans, and Ryan is our brewmaster. So we are three partners and owners of this business, and we have investors that have invested in us, and we are proud to say we're still here. You're right. We are still here. COVID hit us pretty good, but we're serving beer and we just need you all to keep drinking it. So with that, oh, by the way, keep drinking it. You do have mugs available. I know Steve's talking about the SEC mugs. Those are coffee mugs, but they can also be dual purpose. Those can be used for beer.
Absolutely, they can. You bet.
That's right. So,
And I'll do my part for your beer sales. That's for sure.
Thank you, Steve. Well, let's see. I think we can walk around if you'd like to.
Let's do it.
And show you a bit of the building.
You can take a ride with us here.
Take a ride. How do we want to do this?
There you go.
All right, you want me to just hold it?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I will, okay. So here's the entrance. No, I got to turn around. All right, it's a little bit sunny outside, but this is our entrance here for a Bottle Rocket. As you walk into the place, you will notice an old stairwell. Oh gosh, this is not very good with lighting, but anyway, it's an old stairwell that we appreciate having, but we cannot use because of the fire marshal. One unique piece that we do have in the brewery is this beautiful piece right here. If you can see that, that is the state record elk. It was shot by a 14-year-old little girl who had gotten a tag. I know the family real well. Joel Helmer, as a matter of fact, is the dad, and he's a geography professor at Concordia. So we have the state record elk in this brewery. So come out and take a look at it. I think it's a beautiful piece. It's bigger than you think. We've got our list of beers. We have all sorts of opportunities for you to drink. We also do carry other items in addition to the beer. It's if any of you know, out of Omaha, we carry La Vista, the Soldier Valley wine. I'm sorry, the whiskey and the rum and the vodka. So we hook up with the veterans, and we have that available for you all. We also have Junto Wine, a local Seward County winery. So we work with them too. So we do like serving craft items, and those are the few that we carry because we do have a large event room. Jonathan, I'll just let you go ahead and do that, and then I'll just walk around.
Yep.
All right, so as you come into this area here, this will be the outside of the building. The small part of this is the old mill. As we come out here, we've got our beer cooler here with all the beer in here. And we started here, and we have actually expanded now as you understand. We've got a 15 barrel system to the corner over here. Come visit, we'll give you a tour. We have our new addition here is our event room. We hold all sorts of events. Matter of fact, we hold quite a few Seward County development events here. We had the event for the Petco.
Yeah, Pet Source, yep.
Yeah, the Pet Source. The governor was here. We had all sorts of dignitaries. It was a very unique event. If any of you are interested in renting this kind of facility, we do have rental forms and things like that online. go to our website or contact us.
And you can fit up to 300 people in here?
We can fit up to almost 300 people in here. We have food trucks every Friday. Come on down, have food, have some food and have a beer. We'd love to entertain you for that.
Mm-hmm.
We have the biggest screen in Seward. This white wall here actually holds an HD option for PowerPoints or presentations. We have graduations. We have all sorts of, we've had weddings. Matter of fact, we just had a baby shower last Saturday where we had a bunch of ladies drinking mimosas and having a fun time. We are very patriotic. We have two huge, these are casket flags given to us by one of our Seward residents because obviously we are in the 4th of July city. So we promote patriotism and we love that. And all of our beers kind of have that patriotic theme to it. The M80, the Wicked Spark, which is a representation of the Gadsden flag, Don't Tread on Me, if you recall that. And then we also have the M80 is a firecracker. This one you can hold, you won't blow your fingers off. Here's representation of what's coming out or what we have currently in distribution. We'll start back here.
Yep.
And we'll go with, this is the Blueberry Bomb. So nobody has seen this yet in distribution. This hasn't come out. This is hopefully coming out in 3 weeks. So we have a Blueberry Bomb. It's a wheat ale. It's a very popular beer. We've brewed it for 4 years and people want that. So we want to get that out in distribution. We have a new beer that nobody in Nebraska really has, and there are very few in the United States, is a Golden Stout. Most stouts, as you know, are dark grains, have dark malts. This is a light malt that has all the flavors of a stout. So it's a blonde stout. We call it Golden Stout. We have our standard IPA. It's a session IPA. You can get all of these 3 beers here. The IPA and the Bottle Rocket Blonde is next. And then the M80, of course, is the last one. These are all available, except for the first two, the Golden Stout and the Blueberry Bomb. Give that a couple weeks yet. They'll be out in stores. But right now, they're all in the Hy-Vees in Lincoln and in Omaha. So we're excited. We work with Johnson Brothers in Nebraska. They're a very family-oriented distributor, and so we're excited to be in partnership with them and getting our beer out. And that's where Steve had the opportunity to get some beer in Waverly. So appreciate all your help in providing some, help the breweries out. I don't know what to say about that, but that's it. I believe, well, let's see, you want to go upstairs? We have a second or no? There's our loft. You can rent out the loft or the main place in upstairs. We can take you to upstairs if you'd like. Real quick, we'll just run up.
Yep.
Hang on, everybody.
I was gonna say, on Husker game days, I bring my boys here to watch the game. I drink beer and they eat pretzels. It's a good relationship.
One of the things we did like to do, a couple of things. We like to integrate a lot of Seward County. So when we built this building, we added art. A lot of the door frames and the baseboards in this building were from the Reinhold Marxhausen house that was torn down. If you know Reinhold Marxhausen, he is a Seward Concordia grad artist, and as a matter of fact, his art is in the Capitol.
Yep.
So we have a few of his pieces here.
Oh yeah.
One of his pieces that. So yeah, come on out. You can see a couple art pieces. Here's the mill, and if you can look straight up. There's the old Millworks. This is wood probably from Pennsylvania, because in 1947 there were not a lot of trees in Nebraska. So they had to ship all that in, and they built this. There are 4 hoppers here. This is where they had the grain come through the elevators, come up, and then drop them into these bins. they'd clean it and they bag it and they throw it out the front. And here's, this is the original sign from the building that was next door to us, which is now our parking lot. We got this from some of the Campbell family. And here's an original seed bag. That was in Seward. Campbell said their motto was, if you plant it and it doesn't grow, you can always bring it back. They'll refund you. That was kind of tricky. All right, well, let's see, one more thing. Jonathan, let's go to the outside. Let's show that grain bin. You just sitting out here, right?
Yep.
All right, thanks for hanging on, everybody. So this is Seward, Nebraska, and we are essentially outside here. This is our front. If you can see that, that is an old grain silo that we saved from the backyard, if you will, and brought it out front, and we made a gazebo out of it. So you can come out here and hang out in the gazebo, drink a beer, have a large pretzel, and enjoy the food trucks. So we're on the deck. You can come out here too.
Yep.
So it's a beautiful day in Seward.
Yep.
Nice, sunny, probably 36-degree wind chill.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I'll just do a couple of other quick items here.
Yeah, if there's any questions.
Yeah, any questions for Gerald?
Yeah, about our beer or anything, how you can get connected with us. We have a website. And let's see, Steve, I can't hear you. I think Steve was trying to talk there.
Yeah, I've got a question for the both of you. I've got a stimulus check. It's burning a hole in my pocket. I want to spend it bad, and I'm going to spend a day in Seward. Outline that day for me. What am I going to do? I get there about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then what?
Well, want me to, you know what you can do? You can start at the National Guard Museum. Jerry Meyer is a wonderful man out there, and we have the state's Nebraska National Guard Museum that has all sorts of great memorabilia from the National Guard of Nebraska. It's amazing what kind of history we have with that place there. The other places I would go to, maybe, as you said, 10 o'clock in the morning, Steve?
Yes.
Well, maybe you want to hit the cafe first. Go have some breakfast, cafe on the corner, neat little place, old school feel. And then maybe after breakfast, hit the National Guard Museum. We've got a bakery in here that does a great job with cinnamon rolls, homemade stuff. I would also go with, what else? Yeah, of course, you know, here, if you want to see that, but there's also other places that we have available to visit, such as, go ahead, John, I'll let you take over there.
Yeah, and we got one of the other co-founders here.
Oh,
You say hello?
hi. This is Jason.
Yeah, so Bottle Rocket Brewing Company is actually in the historic downtown district. So we're on the Register of Historic Places with the Department of the Interior. So a whole 2-block radius of downtown Seward really is just a historical site. Lots of wonderful retail shops to check out, restaurants that have been here for a long time, pretty diverse. What we talked about, we actually did a downtown revitalization plan back in 2017. Since that time, we've had over $5 million of new investment in downtown. Bottle Rocket's been a part of that revitalization process. We're trying to create businesses that are what I call Amazon proof, things that are experiential, destination businesses that, yeah, would encourage people to come, sit, stay, build relationships. We actually have a number of different kind of, we actually have a art gallery that has Nebraska beer, wine, and whiskey as well, called Red Path Gallery and Tasting Room. So you actually can come. There's 30 Nebraska artists that they have throughout, and they rotate those galleries on a regular basis. And so I encourage you to come check that out if you're into art. And then also within that district, of course, you have the different retail shops. We have actually a bookstore that's based here and family owned for over a decade. You also have, I'd already mentioned Cafe on the Square. There's actually 8 restaurants within that Seward street, which is the original street into town. So you got some history there, as well as the delicious food. We also have a family-owned movie theater that's been owned for over 100 years here in downtown. And they show all the big movies. So if you want to get that great movie experience, but not have to deal with the crowds, is the perfect place to go. And of course, then, Steve, we're assuming you're coming right around the 4th of July. Of course, we're the 4th of July city. We say we throw a party for our 40,000 closest friends. And Bottle Rocket's a hopping place. The whole downtown district is just crowded with a lot of food trucks and craft vendors. And actually here in front of Bottle Rocket, you guys throw what's probably about the biggest pole vaulting competition that I've ever seen.
It is nationally known because this is the longest running outdoor vault in the country. It's been running 27 years now, I believe. Jason, the gentleman you just saw before, he runs the pole vaulting. He's actually the pole vault coach at Concordia. And so, this outdoor vault thing started in the 90s. And it's been a very unique thing, and we really appreciate having that right out in front of the brewery. Right on the bricks.
Yep. So lots of good food, good shops to check out. You can check out a movie, check out the museum. We also got some other at Concordia University. They have the Center for Liturgical Arts, which does artwork that they send all over the world. Actually, so amazing art, and that's kind of within the. Actually, the Center for Liturgical Arts is on the where Reinhold Marxhausen had his family home. So they still have his original art studio that's associated with that. And so some pretty cool things to check out at the university as well. And then, of course, if you're around Concordia, they have lots of athletic competitions, lots of wonderful music. They're actually in the process right now, getting ready to hopefully break ground for a $14 million musical arts new facility, which we're super excited about because they have wonderful, music and students that come from all over the country with a ton of talent that we get to enjoy here in our smaller community. And like I said, it's a smaller population, but you get that chance to be a big fish in a small pond.
And we have a couple of comments in the chat.
Sure.
Anissa wants to know, are the food trucks there all day on Friday?
They usually come about 5:30, and they'll stay till about 8 or until they're sold out. We don't have a lot of food trucks here in Seward. Well, I don't think we have one, but we try to utilize restaurants in Seward too. We've utilized a couple of restaurants here in Seward for our Friday food trucks. Okay. The event room really helps, but we like to have the food truck out front. We get a lot of them from Lincoln and Omaha. So they come about 5 o'clock and they'll stay till 8. Yeah, it's a wonderful event and lots of room for everybody.
And Anissa also points out that there are several good Mexican restaurants in Seward.
There are, yeah, La Carreta and La Casina, wonderful restaurants. So we'd love to have you come check them out. And I'll just finish up just a couple other comments. Unless, Steve, were there other questions that wanted to answer here?
Yeah, we'll open it up then.
Sure. Just to finish up again, for our organization, we really want to be open for business. And I think you got the chance to hear Gerald's story, and it's been exciting to see them go from literally the idea now to distribution and distributing across the state. And so that's what we like to do. We like to work with entrepreneurs from the beginning of the idea all the way through distribution, which is exciting when you're scaling your business and hiring people and all that stuff. So that's what we do here. We're a one-stop shop Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development organization. And we're really fortunate to have so many wonderful business investors, and Gerald's actually on our board of directors to help. They've created, through that vision statement that I talked about, we then have our strategic plan, which talks about being a support system for entrepreneurs to help strategically grow Seward County. So I will offer here as we close up and then open it up for questions. The first round's on me. And I'm serious when I say that. We're interested in talking with talent and talking with entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their business. And so if you're interested in coming and checking us out, we'd love to have you come here And like I said, the first round's on me with Bottle Rocket. And I think, Gerald, 5 years ago, we passed the hat with business cards. We obviously can't do that this time around. But what we're going to do is we're going to ask the question. We're asking for, Scout's honor here. Who has the birthday, who has a birthday closest to the 4th of July? Does anybody have a July birthday or like end of June?
June 26th.
Oh,
June 26th, John. Okay. Can anybody beat that? June 26th?
June 27th.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, Nathan.
I got fireworks every year, man.
he scooped you, John.
That's
The
okay.
price is right here.
That's right. Closest to.
So anybody else closer than June 27th? All right. Gerald, you tell him when Nathan gets.
Nathan, you have just won a 6-pack from Bottle Rocket Brewing Company. So come on
So
down.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Come
Wear
on down.
that.
We'll give you that 6-pack.
I was gonna say, find Gerald, just say Perk Up Thursday, and and say June 27th, won me that 6-bag.
Sounds good. Sounds
Maybe go
good.
on the 4th of July or on a Friday, right?
That's right. Yeah, this year is going to be pretty big. So we'd love to have you guys come join us. So,
I'm very aware of Seward's 4th of July festivities.
Oh,
Excellent. Good.
All right, do we have any questions for these guys?
I have one. I'm closely related to Concordia. I took my daughter there in the 80s. We sat at the corner cafe, and 35 years later, I took my granddaughter there, registered, and sat at the same table in the corner cafe.
Oh,
Question
very cool.
about for Jonathan. They just opened at Concordia the new Ag Business Research
Yes.
Center, and Dennis Brink is heading that up. He's a close friend of mine. Are you
Yeah.
partnering with them in any way, or did you with the pet process, or are you
Yeah.
working, because they're doing a lot of entrepreneurial startups? Say a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you bringing that up, and I would have been remiss if I wouldn't have mentioned that. So you prompted me here, John. I appreciate that. And Dr. Dennis Brink has really just been a tremendous blessing for the campus and the community. Of course, he was a professor at University of Nebraska, Lincoln, in their ag program for 40 years, and a decorated professor. And then as he retired from the University of Nebraska, he became the first director of the ag program. And here at Concordia, they actually interviewed ag-based businesses to ask what they were looking for in talent coming out of college. And so it's the first multidisciplinary program in ag. And so they're really versed in the different aspects of ag. So they're not necessarily specifically specialized in one specific area. So they come out with a really diverse experience and knowledge base where they can contribute to ag-based businesses. So what we have done actually to partner with is we've created a partnership, what's called the Concordia Catalyst competition, which is actually a entrepreneurial startup business plan pitch competition with the ag students. It's the first that we did this last semester. So we had a number of student teams compete. And actually we were one of the sponsors that put some money and swag on the table to incentivize the students to start working their entrepreneurial minds around ag-related businesses. Of course, ag is the biggest industry we have in the state. And whether they end up becoming entrepreneurs, really anybody and everybody should be an intrapreneur. If you're in an organization, you need to think entrepreneurially. So we're super excited about the young people, the students that are working on those projects. And it's been an awesome partnership with Dr. Brink and the ag students. Yep, and getting that field experience. And they really emphasize getting students out of the classroom and into local businesses to build those relationships, build their networks.
Some of those businesses are quite well known too.
Oh, of course.
Name a couple of those, John.
Yeah, I mean, so basically all of the major seed companies we either have here in Seward County or in York County, so they're all around here, and they've been investing in the program, so the students have access to those relationships. The Pet Source Project, actually, some of the comments from the school or executives that they made to us is we actually brought them to Concordia and talked about the ag program. They were really impressed with the access to leadership that we have here in our communities. If you want to go have a beer with our mayor, we can do that. He's going to check out Bottle Rocket.
We got a place for that?
Yeah, and you can't necessarily say that everywhere. But yeah, The president of the college was there, the superintendent of the schools, our mayor, president of the banks. We all show up and we work together. We're really team atmosphere, and in Concordia, the president, that just left Concordia, his comment was, what's good for Concordia is good for Seward, and what's good for Seward is good for Concordia. So it's a really symbiotic relationship, and we work well together. Good question, John. Thanks.
We got time for one more question. Anybody else have a question for Jonathan or Gerald? If not, gentlemen, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much. And I do have to give a plug out to Bottle Rocket. I purchased a 6-pack of M80 Pale Ale recently. A very unique Pale Ale, very tasty. Check it out. Head over to your Hy-Vee or liquor store and buy a 6-pack of that. Their Pale Ale is next on my list. So thank you both for being here. Continued luck in Seward. And with that, thank you everybody for attending. Please join us next week for Todd Baker with Baker's Candies out of Greenwood. Stay healthy, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
You bet.